this massive fight in the Pokemon Center. I don't know. It's not a bad show. I I don't I don't know how much of it I actually watched. I don't know. It's all on Netflix though. It's called the Indigo League.
Mm-hmm.
So
Dom was
we're
into
kind of
it.
watching that.
Dom was into it for a
Oh,
little while.
okay. Well, it's not a bad show. I just Pokemon. It's one of those things that just I kind of go in and out of it. The games are all right. The earlier games are all right. The newer games aren't as they're not as good. It's just there's too many of them, and Game Freak can't seem to optimize for the Switch. So, like as soon as they left the Game Boy Advance, and said, eh, I'll go as far as say the DS. As soon as they let the DS start going to more to the 3D thing, they just couldn't really handle it. The show's not bad. It follows the game pretty well, aside from Ash.
Yeah, and I saw a video recently that like describing how sometimes Pikachu is like the strongest Pokemon ever created, and then sometimes he loses it with type advantage to like weird Pokemon that you should be able to easily beat.
You got to keep it compelling and all that stuff, I guess. So Pikachu was never really my favorite. I like Pikachu a lot, but it's kind of cool watching. There's a there was a oh no, I can't remember the name of the channel on YouTube, but kind of going back and looking at like older Pokemon material and just how prominent a Pokemon like Poliwhirl was. And Poliwhirl was one of the creators' like favorite Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
And like how Poliwhirl is just non-existent anymore. I mean, Poliwhirl exists. Like the Poliwag line didn't like just go away, but like marketing materials and stuff. I mean, you've got hundreds of. I don't know if they've crossed the 1,000 mark yet, but I'm sure they probably have. But you know, there's so many of them now, and just how cool ones like that. I think Poliwhirl's a really cool design. He's got the little swirly thing on his belly, and
Mm-hmm.
he's just a cool looking dude. But a lot of that stuff's just kind of like Cubone is a cool design. There's so many awesome designs in that first run of Pokemon. It's just the longer they go, the more kind of just they're running out of stuff to. I mean, you got dinosaurs and you've got like little plant dudes and fish and yeah, now you got ice cream cones and chandeliers, and the chandelier one is admittedly pretty cool though. So
I it definitely I listened to somebody who was talking about this, and I think it applies heavily to Pokemon, but the person who was talking about it just isn't a Pokemon fan, so they don't get it. Like they're basically saying like the original Pokemon, or he was talking about Star Wars, but he was saying like the original Star Wars trilogy was written because a weird nerd had a bunch of different things that he loved, and he wanted to like stick them all together in one movie. He liked the samurai sword fights, and he liked the Wild West, and he liked like dog fights and stuff. So he was like, I made a story where I stuck all of that into one thing, and then it blows up into this huge thing, and that's what creates Star Wars. But then as you continue down the line, it's not some weird nerd with a bunch of weird ideas. It's a weird nerd who was obsessed with Star Wars writing a movie about Star Wars.
yeah, I get that.
And then like Pokemon's the same way. When they created Pokemon, it was just a bunch of weird nerds like, oh man, this is a cool idea for a monster. Let's make this one and this one and this one. And then like as Pokemon has continued, now it's I am a person who loves Pokemon. I'm making Pokemon like the Pokemon that I liked growing up. So it's not the same
Right.
thing, so it's not putting out the same energy.
I love the limitations of the Game Boy kind of kept them in check with like what they were able to accomplish with the first two Pokemon game. Well, I guess it's the same Pokemon game, it's just different versions. But like what they were able to accomplish with that, just with that aging heart, the Game Boy was almost 10 years old at that point. You know, just I don't know. It's kind of just a it's perfect. It's not perfect, but like it's perfect. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
I get what you're saying.
So,
I
but
Another thing, just another because we're randomly talking about Pokemon, and I saw another video. I saw a video about this too.
you there?
Yeah, sorry. Andrew came in here to give me some sass. Your
Is she okay?
wife? Yeah, she's talking to Allie, and she's cracking up.
Oh, she's talking to Allie.
Yeah.
Oh, Allie's probably like, he's watching Pokemon and talking about Pokemon, and it's terrible.
Okay, so
All the police.
the thing was someone was talking about how they managed to make Pokemon seem so seamless. And the trick that they used is the game actually loads like a like 2x2 square extra all the way around the screen that you just can't see. So like as you start walking towards that 2x2 square, the screen shifts and then it loads the next square over and over again just outside of the frame where you can see. So that's why Pokemon never has these like loading screens, because it's actually loading the screen in front of you, just cropping it so you can't see it. And like
Yeah.
the entire game runs off of the fact that they were able to pull that off. Like Pokemon will be a completely different game with loading screens.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, I don't know. I have a hard time going back to Pokemon anymore. It's like the newer ones, anyways. But like those older ones, get those on Switch. Like get those on the Switch Online thing. I wouldn't mind just going back and replaying those ones. I have Heart Gold, Soul Silver. You know, probably need to just buckle down and finally beat that one. I've never actually beat Gold or Silver. That one was, by the time that it had come out, I was in high school, and girls,
Yeah, girls.
Pokemon is not really something that attracts.
Nah, I'm gonna pause you.
You
I'm gonna
know,
pause you. When we were in high school, it wasn't something that attracts, but like
that's
now,
true.
girl would be like, whatever, they're Pokemon.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I would. I don't know.
I'm just saying.
So I think there's a time and a place for Pokemon. I've got my cousin. His husband is obsessed and a little on the obsessed. So I think it's probably, there's nothing wrong with liking Pokemon, but to the effect of like, it's a completely different conversation, but like these Lego sets that are coming out that are like $600 and $700 or whatever for the Pokemon stuff. Like, yeah, it's it's because of the older fans or whatever. And Pokemon is definitely a children's thing. It is definitely a children's thing. But like, oh man, it's a whole rabbit hole. Should we save that for another day?
Yeah, this one's already going to be long. We probably shouldn't get into the intricacies of adult Pokemon and how
Right.
there's an entire scalper fucking subsection of people who are driving up the prices of Pokemon cards to the point where they're actually unattainable at this point.
Yep, that's another day.
That's another conversation.
So anyway, welcome to the Gamedads podcast.
Yeah, welcome to the Gamedads podcast, where we talk about video games and everything except video games.
Yep. Today's a special episode, you guys.
Yes, it is. It is a very special episode.
Special indeed.
Because I'll let you introduce it, but we got the Gamedads exclusive award show.
Yeah. So let me. I made a fun title for it. It is the 2025 Brettley Awards, Nintendo Switch 2 Edition, Jamboree plus Starcross Worlds.
Yep.
And
were we able,
Nintendo's making weird titles.
were we able to get Dickie Simpsons back as a co-sponsor?
He had prior commitments. We had him scheduled for today. Unfortunately, just everything didn't line up. We'll get him next time. So Simpkins, we love you.
Yeah. No, I mean, I know the guy's super, super busy, so no hate to Dickie Simpkins, and we'll see. We'll hopefully we'll see him next year.
Yeah. We'll see if we can get him as a presenter of some kind. So
It'd be so funny.
Anyway, so should we, without any further ado, should we kick this thing off?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm assuming you're starting at the bottom of your list. You want to just you do your bottom one, and then I'll do, and we'll alternate back and forth up to the top.
Yeah, that's fine. I figure, along the way, if we are playing any of these things, we can probably discuss it there. But this is mostly just going to be an award show, not our typical run of show. But
yep.
So yeah, if you want to start, go for it.
All right. This is actually the category that I'm most excited to talk about. So I don't have mine don't have funny names. I tried, but my brain was like, just I need to get this out. So mine is specifically anime voice actor of the year. And there are 4 people in this list. 2 of them are for a very specific reason. One of them is a more general reason. So I'm going to start with the more general first. So one of the really big animes that's been out this year it's Jujutsu Kaisen. I mean, it's just like, the best way to describe it is it's just fun. And one of the main characters, and who's one of the most important characters like of the year period. I think that there's an argument that Satoru Gojo is the biggest anime character of the year this year, because like his voice actor is top notch. Like, and I'm speaking English voice actors on this. These are all the English voice actors. His voice actor is top notch. Like Kaiji is like this. He's just killing all of Gojo's line. He drips with like pompous aura. Like everything he says kind of sounds like is quotable. Like all of it. So he's just killing it. So I wanted to just bring him up and say, like, man, you're doing a great job. So the next person is a character who a voice actor who plays a slime in an anime. So it's in a new world with my insane camp cooking skills, which sounds crazy that I'm putting someone from an anime like this in my top 10 voice actors of the year. But the voice actor for Sui, her name is April Bird, and she is just amazing. Like, she's like this like super cute character, but like all of her, everything she says, like she's so cute, you want to give her a hug. Like, oh, you're so adorable. Like everything she says. And she's in a character in the story who is, like I said, she's literally a slime, and she's my favorite character in the entire story, and the entire story is one of my favorite animes of the entire year. So it's just, the English voice actors are starting to get so good at what they do that like we're at the point now where like I don't watch a lot of Japanese anime in Japanese anymore.
Yep.
It's just,
I exclusively watch in English.
It's just like, there was a period of time where like reading the subtitles and listening to the Japanese voice actors was just better than listening to the English. The English was kind of grating in a lot of cases, like especially when you have these voice actors who are voicing characters in very small series and stuff like that. So they're,
or games.
But like, I mean, I love Dragon Ball Z, but like even I prefer the English Japanese to Japanese. Like in something like Dragon Ball Z that I've seen 100 times, I would rather listen to English Goku than Japanese Goku. And that's not a slight on Japanese Goku, because I love Japanese Goku, but like it's comfort food to me. And like when I'm sitting around watching Dragon Ball Z, like this is what I grew up with, the English version. I grew up with the English voice actors. That's just the way it is. But like nowadays, I actually honestly prefer a lot of the English voice actors. I'm gonna try and speed this.
So like Dragon Ball, like I'll watch in English, but the video games I'll actually play in Japanese. It's a really weird, not so much Kakarot, but like the fighting games I'll play in Japanese because of the imports that you brought in.
Yep.
it just reminds me of that. So
Yep. Okay. So these last two, I picked up this anime off of one scene, and it's from this guy's voice acting. Literally made me watch this show. I didn't even know about it, and I saw this one line from him, and it literally, I watched the entire anime based off of that one line from him because the line is so good. So I'm gonna set up the scene, and then I'm gonna like tell you what he says, and it's like perfect. So they are the character in their party is like this like a adventure style thing. So that they're with a party and they're going on a quest. They stop at like a inn hotel, and then him and his the chick that's with him, they get into a fight, and like while they're getting into a fight, but like they're not, like she's getting ready to go to bed, so she's not dressed. She's wearing like her like pajamas basically. And then she gets mad and she's like, I'm out of here, and she leaves. And he's going after her. He's like, oh God, you can't just be out here in the streets. What are you doing? And he turns around and she goes, why are you following me? He goes, I'm not just gonna let my best friend run around in the streets out here half naked. Girl, what you doing out here with all this booty? And I was like, one line, I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch this. I don't know what this is, but I'm gonna go watch it. The series is ridiculous, and it totally adds up to him talking like that. Like, he's like that the entire time. But like that one line, I was like, I'm gonna put this guy in the list because he made me watch an anime off of one line. No context. I had no idea what was going on. I just heard that one line. I was like, I'm gonna go watch this anime. And that's how good his dialogue is. He's hilarious. Everything he says in the entire show is funny. All of it. And then my last one is I'm just gonna say it's Zeno Robinson. He is the best voice actor in voice acting right now. Like, he is the best. Every time you find a character that's voiced by him, that character is fucking hilarious. And like, even if they're not supposed to be, like the character that I put on the list for him specifically is Jabber from this new show that I'm watching called Gachi Yakuda. And that's a crazy name, but it's good. So we're in shonen Dragon Ball Z territory. He powers, explosions, fights. So this guy has like poison claws, and he's fighting one of the good guys because he's a bad guy, and he poisons the crap out of him with his claws, and then proceeds to both dance and rap over his dead body. And the rap that he spits is so funny. I was like, this is the best character in this show just for this moment. This is the best character of this year for this moment. Like, if you go onto any type of like anything that has shorts, like YouTube or TikTok or whatever, and you just type in Jabber rap, the entire clip will come up, and there's just nothing but people reacting to it, laughing their asses off because he is singing and dancing over this man's dead body, and it's so funny. And like, he manages to sound completely like in character while also like making the rap sound authentic and genuine, and like he's actually putting out some verses, not reading lines. It's, oh my God, it's so good. And I laughed my ass off because the scene after this, like, this scene is perfect. This anime is awesome. It's I would probably put it at my top of this year if there weren't for some other really good entries. But like, the scene after this, after he dances over this guy's body, like, this is an anime. We're talking, think Dragon Ball Z. I mean, guys flying through the air, fighting, magical powers, all of this stuff. The scene after this, after he dances all over this guy's body, a girl just walks out, pulls out a gun, and shoots him. Like, it's so funny. But like, after she shoots him, his line is, yo, whose man is this? And I was like, like, he's so funny. And like, the thing that keeps happening is I was like, I looked up Zeno Robertson. I was like, what other anime is he in? Because I recognize his voice, and he's in like 4 other animes that have been out in the last like 5 years. And like, if you find any of his characters in anything, all of them have insanely quotable lines that just like come out of nowhere. Like, he is the voice actor of the year without question. Zeno Roberts is the voice actor of the year. He probably was the voice actor of last year if I had had a vote for it, because his roles in other stuff, he probably would have won again. He's like the best voice actor I've been hearing right now. So Zeno Roberts, anime voice actor of the year. Good job, bro. Awesome.
A Brettley well earned.
Super earned. You, like, if I could retroactively give this award for last year, you would get it again.
Your Brettley is in the mail, sir.
Absolutely.
It's a platinum trophy of me in a bathrobe. I've got a cup of coffee and a cigarette. I don't even smoke, so that's what.
And the look on his face is just like, it's just like a congratulatory nod, like a proud father, like
like the Leo DiCaprio from what is it? Oh, it starts with the G. Anyway, you all know the GIF. He's doing the congratulations. It's me, a coffee, and a cigarette. And you know what? I don't even smoke. I don't condone it. So I don't know who made this Brettley Award, but you've earned it. Okay, my first Brettley. This is the Digital Dust Award. I'll never finish this. This is a award that goes to the game that I just don't have time to. I don't have time to finish it. So, without further ado, the nominees are Claire Obscure Expedition 33, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, Metaphor ReFantazio, Persona 3 Reload, and Death Stranding. These are all long ass games.
Is that Death Stranding 1?
Yeah, I haven't even bothered to play Death Stranding 2 yet. I bought Death Stranding 1. It was on sale after it come out, and I'm honestly not a Kojima guy. I blew through all of Metal Gear Solid to catch up to 4 when 4 was like the biggest PS3 game coming. I was such a big PS3 guy that just we were starved for games. So I was like, you know what? If I'm going to understand this game, I'm going to run through them all. I did, and I could not care less about Metal Gear Solid. Just is what it is. But Death Stranding was one that I was like, you know what? I'm going to pick this up. And it is, no matter how many times I do it, no matter how much I like Norman Reedus, like I think the world is cool. It uses Horizon's engine and stuff. It is just boring as sin, dude. Like, I'm good. So, but it's not my ultimate winner though. The ultimate winner with this one is going to be Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. I have never finished a Bethesda game. a Bethesda Studios game. So Bethesda does publish games. So even though, like, for example, Doom: The Dark Ages would be considered a Bethesda game, it's not a Bethesda Studios game. So we're talking like Elder Scrolls, we're talking Fallout, we're talking the space one. Can't think of the name of it. Starfield.
Yeah, that's
so Elder Scrolls 4. I actually bought shortly after my Xbox 360 when I got that. So I bought it for Fight Night. Fight Night was my first one. And then shortly after that, Elder Scrolls 4 came. And I'm just going to say Oblivion because I'm going to trip over Elder Scrolls every single time I say it. But it had a memory leak on it. So like the more you play it, like the worse it'll run.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, oh my gosh, it's coming to PS5. It's remastered. It looks fantastic. It still has the same memory leak issues. So I will never finish this game. It wins just by the fact that it's old. The other games on the list, I think Indiana Jones, I could probably go back and finish, possibly. So I guess there's a chance with those ones. Claire Obscure, I know that the comments will come for me, but it's not that good. It's good, but it's not. It's not like OM Jesus, like, you know, the second coming of Final Fantasy X. Even though it kind of is, like, it wants to be Final Fantasy X so bad, that's one I'm not. That's one I'm not going to finish just because I just don't care. I did buy it though, and I did support it, and I like what I played of it and stuff. But I would rather just play Final Fantasy X again. So anyway, the game or I keep forgetting the name of my own goddamn award. The Brettley goes to the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. Stand up and take a bow.
Yay! Okay. This is like, I'm gonna put myself in dangerous territory because you put yourself in dangerous territory with Claire Obscura. I have a similar problem with Oblivion, but mine is just I can't attach myself to games where like I'm just a floating pair of hands. My brain just does not lock in the same way.
Yeah.
And
it wants you to like be the character, and I understand that. Like it's the same thing with Zelda and Link. Like Link is supposed to be you, but you can see Link, and it plays better.
I just there's a certain part of like that I just like, I don't know why there's such a big difference for me between something like the Elder Scrolls and like Borderlands, but like it's just a difference. There's a gap I just cannot cross when like the hand does like a little floaty move and then a fireball comes out, and then I'm like, there's just a line I can't cross there. I've never been able to get into like the Elder Scrolls games. Never. If you put a gun in that same viewpoint, I'm fine. But like,
right,
with the sword hand that just kind of chops like this, and then the hand that does the little wave thing, and then a fireball comes, I can't do it.
I like them. I'll never finish it. So they're fun worlds to be in, but or they're interesting worlds to be in. I should say that. Like, I don't think Elder Scrolls is particularly fun, but like they're interesting worlds to be in. I think the in some cases the story is pretty good, but I don't know. I've only got 2 Elder Scrolls games that I've ever played, and then the 3 Fallout games. 2 of them were actually made by Bethesda and Starfield. Mm-hmm. Like, I think I'm all set. I don't really need any more of that.
Yeah.
So anyway, the rest of my awards will be positive. I promise you guys.
Yeah. I'm gonna drop my only negative one here. So mine is biggest disappointment of this year, and I don't give awards to politicians. So if I did, you guys know who would be getting the one, but I don't give awards to politicians.
No. Yeah.
My biggest, and there are 4 big ones, and the 4 big ones are really weird for me, but I made a decision. I think it was actually during the last Brettleys, where I was like, I say so many times that I don't have anything against Xbox, but I don't own an Xbox, and I've never invested in getting an Xbox. I've never invested in any of it. My 360 fell off, and I never followed Xbox again. So I was like,
I got one. I'll sell you.
I mean, last year I would have been like, sure.
Yeah, don't buy an Xbox. It's a terrible investment.
So I was like, my goal was like, I'm gonna, if something comes along, like it started with the ROG Ally. I was like, which is the first entry on this list. I was like, I think that's where I'm gonna go. I want something that's handheld. I want something, because like I don't really have a lot of time to be at my computer playing games. So if I could get an Xbox, get a handheld Steam console, all in the same breath, and like that would check all my boxes. And they were like, making $1,000 fucking dollars. And I'm like, this is like, I'm trying to give
it's $1,000 and count.
I'm like, I'm trying to get into your atmosphere, man. The fucking PS5, when it dropped the first day, wasn't $1,000. Like, what are you doing? And then like my second entry is, and then Xbox was like, man, why don't we just charge more for our old consoles? Like, way more. Like, just increase the price and see if we could make some more money. See if we can get our margins up 15%. Like, why don't we just do it? See what the people say. Like, what? You're already at the back of the line. Now you're charging more? Like when you have 3 like food places, when your food place is the least popular, the last thing you should be doing is charging more for fries. What?
Yep. You remember when the GameCube dropped to $50?
Oh, sweeter times. I'm like, and then like when I found out, I was like, I was listening when that was going down. Like, I think we had just like kind of a lull in the podcast, so we weren't like on a whole bunch. But I was like, that was going to be a topic I was going to bring up and like have a full discussion about. So I started doing some digging, and they were like, "Yeah, new management took over and said we needed to increase the profit share of the entire Xbox like franchise, like the entire subsidy of Xbox had to go up by like 15%."
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I wanted to do an Xbox podcast as well. Like, I think it, like the Pokemon one, it needs its own thing.
yeah.
But like, yeah, I'm there with you, and I actually have a whole run of show written. So whenever you want to jump, like I'm down for it.
Okay, because I was like, and then like I started, and then I was talking to, and I was like looking into it and listening to people talk about it, and they were like, okay, when PlayStation was absolutely killing Xbox and Nintendo, they weren't running a 15% profit margin in general, let alone trying to increase their profit margin by 15%. That's
the console's always your loss leader.
Yeah, you're out of your mind.
You make your money on your accessories, and you make your money on your games. Eventually you'll break even on your consoles, and that's the way it's always been. Unless you're Nintendo, and in some cases you put your stuff out and it's operating at a profit. But generally speaking, you're losing money on your play. Dude, PS3 famously was losing. They were losing money on every single console, like significant amount. That's why you take things out of it, make it cheaper. Cheaper to produce, that kind of stuff. The slim consoles have always been important in that respect.
Yeah,
because it gets rid of the expensive stuff. Business.
God, I'm just like I just picked the wrong year apparently, because like if I had have tried to do this in 2023, I would have probably had an Xbox right now. But since I tried to do it in 2025, I don't. So there, Xbox.
Yeah. So the problem with the last thing I'll say, I promise I'll let you keep going and stuff like that. Famously, like it used to be where early adopters were the ones that would get burned, but now, like, the cheapest Xbox you could have ever bought was the one in 2020, and the same thing is probably going to go for the Switch too, which is why I bought 2, because eventually I'm gonna want one, and I've got the money for it now, and things are only going to get more expensive. So, which I think whoever you pick in this, the co-winner needs to be Orange Man. But
he's I don't give awards to politicians, but if I did, he would have gotten this for sure, without question.
Oh, the Brettley's in the mail. So
and
you put it next to his Nobel Peace Prize.
The one he gets is just a thumbs down. Okay, so
the disappointed dad, Brettley.
I think it would. The only reason I didn't go with that is I think it would be really hard to sculpt the same thing, but with like a disappointed face. I just think it would be hard to
It's just my normal face. So, and I get this from my people at work, like I always look like I've just like the most disappointed dad, apparently.
All right.
So, yeah.
Okay. Anyway. So my last 2, I gotta take a swing at this Tales of Arise DLC. It's disappointed me so much. I've been thinking about it all year since I finished it. I'm taking a quick swipe. I've already talked about it on the show. If you want to hear how I feel about it, go look at that episode. But just that Tales of Arise DLC. And then last, I was really excited for the Steam machine, and I know that there's nothing confirmed yet. So I'm not going to give the winner to this because it's not confirmed, but the conversation around the price of the Steam machine is it's also going to be around $1,000. And it's like,
yeah,
I mean, I understand. Like Steam, Steam fans, Gabe nuts. I don't know what your Gabe's fan club is. Don't come at me. I get it. I understand why. But like, the entire point of the Steam machine was to put something out that's like, oh, you can play all these Steam games on our console. You can, if you don't want to have a big PC anymore, you could get a Steam machine. It does the same stuff that you want it to do. It'll play most games at a pretty high rate. But then, like, you're charging what people built their PCs for.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to get in a battle with consoles, and PlayStation is the whole point of the whole thing was you're supposed to get into this race with consoles. But as long as PlayStation is that much cheaper, why would you not just buy a PlayStation? Like,
yeah,
you just want a bunch of unlicensed goon games? Like, what is the point of not just buying a PlayStation? Like, you came in, and if you had hit that one thing, consoles might have been over. If you had hit 700, 800, consoles might have just been over.
Yeah. I mean, the PS5 Pro is $750 right now. So, I mean, if you can be comparable to even that or even beat it,
right? Like, you.
I don't know,
but I know, I understand why.
You get Steam Deck for like $300-something. The cheapest Steam Deck is like $350 something, and it may be even just a little bit cheaper than that. But that kind of operates like a Switch. That's your in, and like what a great console, or like just a little piece of tech. What a great thing. And then like you said, we're all kind of expecting the Steam machine to be a little bit cheaper, and again, nothing confirmed, just like you were saying, but I doubt that it's going to be 1,000.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet dollars of donuts it's probably going to be 1,100 to 1,200.
Yes. So, I feel
it in my bones.
Picking my disappointment of the year. I take another swipe at that Tales of Arise DLC, but like, my disappointment of the year is Xbox. And that's weird to say because I am not an Xbox person, but in the system that we currently exist in, for better or for worse, there needs to be the competition between at least PlayStation and Xbox, that they keep each other in check by constantly vying for the same audience. That's how we got the Xbox 360, PS3 era. That was this insane era of games where things were constantly moving and changing, and new ideas were constantly being brought to the front and then, weeded out and back again, and connects and all of that. All that stuff happened because Xbox and PlayStation were fighting for the same general audience. I mean, there's people who are on the PlayStation side who just play games that Xbox is never going to put out. There are people who are on the Xbox sides who play games that PlayStation was never going to put out, but there was a giant chunk in the middle that Xbox and PlayStation had always been fighting over. And these decisions almost feel like they're like, we don't care anymore. We don't care what happened. Almost every Xbox decision that I've seen, and this is from my perspective, I could be dead wrong. I'm not a, product analyst. Every Xbox decision that I've seen that came out the last year, all of them are fly in the face of that concept. It's all just like, well, who cares? What if I give PlayStation all of my games? Who cares if I just, I'm going to charge an extra $100 for all of my even my old hardware. Like, charge the idea of raising the price on a fucking PS3 at this point, like almost, like, get out of here. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, you're raising the price on well, I guess technically it's a PS4, but I feel like Xbox has like an in-between era that PlayStation doesn't. But like, it's like raising the price on a fucking PS4. Like, what? Get that shit out of my face. Xbox, you win. Your trophy's in the mail. Stop making terrible decisions for gaming. I hate you.
Yeah, they are a great third party though. So, yeah, I'll happily continue buying their games on PlayStation.
Just
So,
okay. I'm done.
but no, I agree with you.
Frustrating crap.
Okay, yeah, we get into the fun ones. This one's a dumb one. This is the "Don't Say Anything" award. This goes to the best silent protagonist.
Yeah.
And I will say there's a little bit of a controversy here, and we will address it. Okay, so the nominees are the Doomslayer from Doom: The Dark Ages, Samus from Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, Shinobi from Shinobi: Art of Vengeance,
Ooh.
Ryu Hayabusa from Ninja Gaiden Black 2, The Lighthouse from Keeper, and Donkey Kong from DK Bonanza. And before we announce the winner, I will say that the Doomslayer is now disqualified for using the word run.
Oh, Doomslayer losing his title.
He spoke. He would have won. So the winner of this goes to my boy Donkey Kong.
I feel like Donkey Kong's on a run. This freaking game is like, I don't know, like I haven't played it yet, so I don't know like where it fits into like the Donkey Kong lore of Donkey Kong and Baby Kong and Diddy Kong. But like this Donkey Kong has been nothing but success this year. Like if you put stocks in Donkey Kong last year, you're rich.
I will say, please be excited. I will speak more on that here in just a little bit. But I do feel that some of the other ones were great contenders for it. I do think Doomslayer probably would have been a great one for this award. Samus, I see people online not asking her, she's a fictional character, but wishing she would talk in this new one. People talk to her, and she just kind of like silently nods and all that stuff. She's a true silent protagonist. Donkey Kong does whistle, and he does his but those are not spoken words.
Yeah, that doesn't count. I mean, Link's got a lot of hi, and he's still a silent protagonist.
And I think that was my sort of like qualifications for this award. So Donkey Kong, you're going to get a special one. So instead of me smoking a cigarette, I got a banana.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
I'm smoking a banana.
It's fair. Donkey Kong, your Brettley's in the mail. I don't know if you have a mailbox, but it'll get to you. You can ask Cranky Kong; he'll get it to you.
Yep.
Okie doke. So for this, I'm doing movie of the year, and if I were to give this like an interesting title, it would be "Holy crap, we're gonna see a lot of anime movies next year." The award. So, just I'm gonna give you my nominees, and then I'm gonna tell you who won, and then I'm gonna go a little bit extra. Okay, so my nominees are Sinners, the Demon Slayer movie, the Chainsaw Man movie, and Superman. I feel like we've been out of this phase, specifically the Marvel phase, where like there have been like 15 Marvel movies would have been in this list. If we were talking like in-game, it was absolutely going to be in-game. We were talking about Infinity War, it would have been absolutely Infinity War, like get out of here, or there wasn't anything would have been close. But like these are all very close, and like they're very close for like three different reasons that like make each one of these great. So like Sinners is just awesome. It was a great movie. It was, like the movie came out, people went and watched it, talked about how great it was, and they were like, hey, we're gonna put this back in theaters so that all the people who missed it the first time can watch it again. Then a bunch of people went and watched it again, and then they were like, hey, do you want us to do it one more time? And they were like, yeah, do it one more time. And then they put it back in theaters again, all in the same year. That's crazy. For the movie to get re-released in theaters 3 times in the same year, 2 times, well, re-released 2 times in the same year, is crazy. So
well deserved though.
Yeah, absolutely. Ryan Coogler killed it. Michael B. Jordan absolutely killed it. Like if you took like Smoke and Stack and like put them in 2 separate movies, you wouldn't be like, they feel so distinctly different that it's weird that they're actually the same person. Like you looking at them and like their mannerisms, how they move, how they act, like to the point where like Michael B. Jordan was like, yeah, Stack, I tied his shoes too tight when I was doing stacks, so I always walk a little different when I'm him, because so much. But like, Sinners was awesome. So then we're gonna move to Demon Slayer and Chainsaw Man. Both of those movies are great. The thing that's really interesting about both of them is they're both doing the same thing. The Chainsaw Man, the Riza arc is literally a section of the story that surrounds this one character. They just made it into a movie. Demon Slayer, the Infinity Castle is the entire first part of the Infinity Castle arc. They just made it into a movie. So this is literally like, there have been other movies that have done this, and like technically Dragon Ball Superhero is technically the same thing, but like the movie came first and then they are adapting it into the story. Instead of this being just straight out of the manga, they just made it into a movie. So like,
right.
The thing that happened though was the closest story to like the closest movie to make as much money as Demon Slayer did is the Demon Slayer Mugen Train movie, the one that came before this one that did the exact same thing. But literally, the Infinity Castle made, I think, 3 times as much as the Mugen Train movie did, which is out of control. Like, the anime movies are not supposed to sell in American theaters. Like, when Naruto was at the height of its popularity, at the very end of the series, when it had made its way all over to America, gathered a giant American audience. Like, people treat Naruto the way we treated Dragon Ball Z in our generation. That's what their Dragon Ball Z is, Naruto. So like, that big. And then anime is way bigger than it was when we were kids. And then when it came to America, it couldn't break. When the last Naruto movie came to America, it didn't break $100 million. Demon Slayer made $650 million in American theaters. That's crazy for an anime movie. So we're going to see a lot more anime movies.
Right.
Both of those movies are great, though. I'm not lumping them together because I think they're like, they should be celebrated on their own, because both of them had huge successes, but they just both fit into this category. And then the last one is Superman, which Superman was absolutely, this one fits in this category for me because of how much absolute trash was talked on this movie before it came out. Like, people were absolutely all over this. Like, oh my God, this movie sucked. Blah, blah, blah. Corn Sweat's not hot enough. I want blah, 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 blah. And then the movie came out and it's fucking awesome. It's just a really good, fun superhero movie. It's not end game crazy. I've combined the stories of 25 other movies to lead to this point. But it's like, if I were to put this Superman movie in like phase 1 of like the Marvel movies, just in rankings, it would be top 3. And for the people who are going to come at me about that, top 3. Like, as an opener to a new cinematic universe, this is almost as good as it could have been.
Yeah, I agree.
You opened a bunch of new characters. They all are interesting. They all, I would watch a Hot Girl movie after watching this. I would watch I'm forgetting his name. Mr. Terrific movie after watching this. I would watch I would watch a Miracle Man movie after watching this. I would watch I would watch a Lex Luthor movie after watching this. Perfect opener. And they gave us a really compelling, central character in Superman. This Superman is somebody who I would follow. He has the Captain America vibes that could take this in the direction of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You could put him in multiple more movies and I would watch them. I would watch the Superman in 10 more movies. So the winner, though, I have to give the winner to Sinners. The Sinners was an awesome movie. It was everything I wanted it to be. I got up, I saw a preview for that movie. I told you about it on this podcast. I saw one preview for that movie and I was like, I'm going to go see that. And it absolutely did not disappoint. It was everything I wanted to be. It was dark. It was gritty. It was gory. It was, I mean, hell, it was funny. It was all of the things I wanted it to be. So Sinners wins.
That's awesome. I love that. So I'll just transition to my movie of the year award. I know that's kind of out of order for me. I've got 6. So mine are Superman, Thunderbolts, The New Avengers, Sinners, One Battle After Another, Ballerina, and Weapons. And my ultimate winner goes to One Battle After Another. Superman is fantastic. I adore Superman for all the reasons Aaron said. Just it's a great movie. It's a much needed win for DC, and just for a whole section of comic book fans that have kind of gone underserved for a long time. Like I like the Zack Snyder universe, but not a lot of people did. And for as much as DC is just quality wise comic in the comic book universe better than Marvel, those the run of books that DC's been putting out over the last, gosh, since the 80s has been, especially recently too, but just Marvel's been trouncing them in every other way. But for to have a movie come out and just be as good as it is fantastic. I think if you quality wise, you could put it anywhere you put it up against anything in the MCU, and it just stands up. And I think James Gunn should be awarded for that. Like, just it's the DCU's, and it's in good hands.
Yeah, I got something. I got something I want to say about Superman, but I'm gonna let you finish first.
Okay. Well, I was going to move on to my next one. Do you want to say it?
Okay. I feel like a lot of like what the original DC universe was like setting up misses my favorite thing about Superman. And this is as a person who like originally was like, I don't like Superman, I hate him. And then like I was like, well, I don't like this characterization of Superman, but this isn't the only one that exists. So I did a little bit of like snooping around to learn a little bit more about who Superman actually is when he's not all dark and gritty. And like, it came up to my favorite Superman story of all time. And it might be my favorite comic book story of all time. So it's a Superman story, and he is at a picnic with Lois Lane, and they're just in the park eating, and Peter and Superman's eating a salad. Well, someone found out, not that Clark Kent is Superman. Found out that he knows or has a connection with Superman. They're trying to draw Superman out by killing Clark Kent. So an assassin is on a rooftop, has a sniper rifle, and he's aimed at Superman's head. And Superman he knows he's there, but he can't do anything because he's sitting there with Lois. He can't like get up and like go. So he's just like, okay, whatever, shoot me. And like the guy shoots him, and the bullets bounce off of him and fall into his salad. So the guy, through his sniper scope, is watching Clark Kent scoop bullets up in his salad and eat them and swallow them, because like he's trying to make like not show Lois that anything's happening. So he's just sitting there eating them. This guy is looking through his sniper scope. The comic is him looking through his sniper scope, watching Clark Kent shovel bullets into his mouth and eat them. And then like he's like, I'm done. I give up. I quit. And like that's like the best story, because it's like it's what he actually is just this like guy trying to live a normal life and be Superman at the same time. And like the best parts are when he's being a normal guy, and Superman, and the fact that he's Superman is an inconvenience to his normal life that he actually wants to live. And that's what I think the new movie is able to show better than any other representation of Superman on film. That he's just a normal dude trying to live a normal life, and being Superman keeps getting in the way.
Yeah. Superman's one of my favorite characters, just full stop. So yeah, I love that. I got a whole list of stuff you should read if you're interested. So the next one on my list is Thunderbolts: New Avengers, and I was not expecting to like this movie at all. And it's actually it's top tier Marvel. I think it's really 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 good. And honestly, I probably could have put Fantastic Four on this list as well because I really like Fantastic Four. That's another one I wasn't expecting to like, but Thunderbolts was great. I love the grounded story. You know, just blends in a little bit of the weird cosmic magic stuff, I guess, but like just it sets a good pace for where the MCU needs to go. It's kind of a good, not a reboot point, but just a good like it's a show of good faith.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Third is Sinners for all the reasons Aaron said. I did not watch any trailers for this. I just kind of knew it was a Ryan Coogler movie and that Michael B. Jordan was attached, and I said, I'm good. I'm in. I didn't even know it was about vampires until somebody had told me about it. But no, it's fantastic. I had to wait for that one because we were. I don't remember what the time frame was on it, but we were. It came out around the time Lydia was born, so I had to wait for it to hit iTunes, and I paid full price for it, and just was blown away. One Battle After Another is one that I didn't see any trailers for it. It was not on my radar at all. I went to the movies twice this year, once for Superman with Aaron, and the other one was One Battle After Another with my buddy Trent. And it was just getting me out of the house. Unfortunately, it was a 3-hour movie, almost
Wow.
3-hour movie. I didn't know anything about that. I won't spoil anything with One Battle After Another, but it's my favorite Leonardo DiCaprio movie, and I love a lot of what he's just done over the years. I think it's one of Sean Penn's best performances. There's one part in the movie, it's not a spoiler or anything like that, but Leo's in this like tricked out little car or whatever, and he's looking for his daughter, and he comes up on a couple of dudes, and they're speaking Spanish back and forth at each other, and Leo does this like Mexican whistle thing that is apparently so authentic that like everybody was very like celebrating it and stuff. He was trying to get directions on which way to go, like where he was chasing this truck that supposedly had his daughter in it, and he's like gracias, and he does this like whistle thing, and like that's I don't know, it was so perfect and just flawless, and I loved it. Ballerina was really good too. Just I love the John Wick universe, and I think I don't think Ballerina is as good as some of the other John Wick movies, but it's definitely like up there. It's kind of like a side story to John Wick as a whole. Like it's set in between a couple of the other John Wick films, set between 2 and 3 specifically. But oh god, it's so good. And then Weapons was of course fantastic. It's another one that I saw one trailer for, and then I was done with it after that. Like I didn't need to see anything else. And it's one that where they took your expectations from the trailer and completely flipped it on its ear. They did the same thing with movies like Hereditary and now oh gosh, I can't remember the name of the other movie. Anyway, it's not what you expect, and I love it for that. My ultimate winner goes to One Battle After Another. Sinners is a very much dude. Any one of these movies could have been a winner with that, but I went with One Battle After Another just because I wasn't expecting it and was blown away by it. Superman is up there as well. Just one of my all-time favorite superhero movies. But something about like the acting and just the overall story, just how current it feels to a lot of things that are going on right now. You should definitely watch One Battle After Another. I won't say anything more about it. Just don't watch any trailers for it. Just watch it. It's that damn good.
All right. I'm in. The one that I was like, when I was looking at your list, I was like, it took me even a second to remember Weapons, but I was like, yeah, I remember I remember there being some like hype about that, but I never actually heard of whether it was like really good or not. I do remember there being some
Yeah.
hype about it. You have one more one more category than I do. So go ahead and do yours, and then we can do our last two.
Okay. I'll just knock out the TV show of the year.
No,
Do you have one that's like that?
you gotta. Yeah, I have a TV show of the year. So do the best non games.
Okay, cool. So my next award is the best non 2025 game, and I'll go quick with this one because I've mentioned these a lot on previous podcasts. So number one is the Mega Man Legacy Collection because I went through all those Mega Man games earlier in 2025. RoboCop Rogue City, Final Fantasy 9, the Maguri mod specifically from PC, Dragon Quest 9, Echoes of an Elusive Age. Did I say 9?
You did. It's 11.
I wrote 9 on there, didn't I?
Yeah, you
Dragon
did.
Quest 11. So because I'm a dork, gosh dang, dude. Dragon Quest 9 is Sentinels of the Starry Sky, but it is what it is. Fake fan. Silent Hill 2 and Pac-Man Championship Edition DX. And my winner goes to RoboCop Rogue City. And like kind of like one battle after another where I wasn't like expecting to like RoboCop. I love RoboCop. And just those style of like 80s gritty sort of like stupid action movies. RoboCop's dumb. RoboCop's real dumb. But like what sold it for me, and I said it on a previous pod where RoboCop is walking around the office trying to get signatures for a get well soon card for his partner. I have not played anything like that. Probably, especially not in a action game like that one. So being able to go around, get signatures for this get well soon card, and also shoot people's dicks off in the same game. I don't know if you guys can hear my baby or not, but Lydia's on the show too. Lovely girl.
Hi.
But yeah, that solidifies RoboCop as getting a Brettley Award. And honestly, it missed 2025 by just like a few months because I think it came out in 20, was it 23 or 20? I don't even know. But I finally caught up to it last year and it's been on like mega sale a whole bunch of times. So I think I only paid like $10 for it. There's, it's not a sequel, but I think it was supposed to have been like an expansion, but it's a standalone game for RoboCop. And I'm saving that for when I'm like actually able to devote time to it. But please be excited for more RoboCop from you boy in the future.
Yay! I mean, I'm just happy that some award show gave RoboCop an award. I don't feel like they've gotten one in a while, so glad the Brettleys.
I feel like. Go ahead.
Glad the Brettleys could slide you some props, RoboCop. You deserve it.
I feel like his acceptance speech would say something to the effect of "Dead or alive, the Brettleys coming home with me."
Oh man, okie doke. So I feel like this is my award. This is the one that like is the Aaron Award, and it's Anime of the Year. So this year has had. I mean, last year was like a really good anime year, like really good, and then this year comes in and it's might even be better than last year. So I'm just gonna read them. Okay. And there's one entry in here. For me, these are the animes that I watched during that year. Most of them are recent, but there's one entry that's from 2024, but I have to include it because it's so crazy. And I had so much fun watching it that I had to put it in here. So I'm gonna start with that one. The first one is Mashal. And to describe Mashal, the best way to describe Mashal is take Harry Potter. You're in the Harry Potter world, got your brain all the way there, you understand? Now, imagine if it was less book and more shonen anime. So tournaments, ranks, I gotta climb the ranks, I gotta be the best, all of that. Now, put a character in the middle of that who cannot use magic, but is Goku level strong. And it's a comedy. So he, instead of having like, I used wind magic to like shoot wind scythes at you and cut you up, he uses muscle magic. So whenever like anime style, they have to call out whatever their ability is. Like wind style, wind scythe. He's like bicep style, clothesline. And he knocks the crap out of somebody. Oh my god, it's so good. Mashal is so funny. And like like it's constantly like the thing that I feel like a lot of animes, a lot of shows of this type do is they just one gag after another gag after another gag after another gag, and they just keep making up things the entire time. Like, no, all of his muscle magic moves, they're all cumulative. They all stack. He uses the same ones over and over again, and it's hilarious. Like, he's essentially like in Harry Potter, but he's like a Goku level strong luchador. And he just goes around body slamming people.
Oh, I love it.
Oh my god, it's so funny.
You put a luchador to anything, I'll watch it.
Mashal is fucking hilarious. And like I said, they so many times when they do like some gag story like this, it's just everything's a bit and they just like, oh, well, I'm just gonna think up a new gag for him to do this and a new gag for this and a new gag for this. And this it's like they all have magic superpowers, but he has muscles superpowers. And like they have the same rules as if he had it was in the magic class. So like he has these specific abilities that he uses over and over again. And it just makes the story seem less of like, it allows it to like flow and not just be this like, you know, episode by episode gag thing. Like it's an actual continual story that makes sense. So like it's a way that anime normally doesn't do this type of character. Normally this type of character is just like, it's just like an episodic gag where like, oh, well, this time Mashal's going to use his arm muscles and this time he'll use his leg muscles and this time, and like, no, he has a power set and he just goes through and beats everybody up with it. And I love it. So Mashal is great. Next one is Shangri-La Frontier. Shangri-La Frontier is a story about a guy who plays like a fully immersive VR video game, but he is so chronically obsessed with playing the worst of those games and figuring out how to break them that when he actually plays a good one, he's got like a level of skill that a lot of other people don't have just because he's so used to playing crappy games and figuring out how to break them that like he gets himself involved in this quest of beating this super powerful monster. And like, it's just really well written. Like it's the game that he's playing, Shangri-La Frontier, feels like if you just took the story directly out of the game and made an RPG out of it, it could just be its own game. Like not even an RPG. It feels like the guy wrote so much to like develop the world of this game that like it could be an MMO if you just took it out of the anime and put it into a game. Like levels, characters, guilds, skill sets, weapons, all of it. It's super well written. So like when you get in, like the initial thought is like, it's just a dude playing a video game. So like there are no stakes because like he's just playing a video game. They don't even do like sometimes animes do the like, oh, if you die in a game, you die in real life to like add stakes to playing a video game. They don't even do that. It's just like so fun to watch him run around in this world and like fight monsters that it's just, you don't need any extra stakes. It's just fun. So Shangri-La Frontier also has some great voice acting. The guy who does Future Trunks' voice, I can't remember his name, or I would say it. He is the main character, and he kills. He kills his son Raku. He's awesome. So like having a character who is well voice acted in this world that's super well fleshed out, it's like a perfect combination. Shangri-La Frontier is awesome. Like if any person knows or has heard of Shangri-La Frontier but didn't get into it because it's just like a guy playing video games, like it's worth a watch. Give it 2 episodes. I'm not doing it's not fun in the first episode, so watch the second one. I'm just saying like give it 2 episodes and you can get invested because it's fun all the way through. So Dan to Dan came back with season 2. Season 2 is as insane as season 1, if not more insane than season 1. But like I've been doing a little research since season 1 came out and it blew my fucking mind. And the mangaka, the guy who wrote Dan to Dan, he was like, I want to write a supernatural horror comedy. And they were like, that's awesome, but what's going to make that unique against all the other ones? He's like, I spent hundreds of hours studying romance stories from manga to anime to Western stories, everything. And I am going to write the most wholesome and enjoyable romance to like underline the rest of all this stuff that you've ever watched. Momo and Okarun are so good together that it's like it's like painful to watch. They're so good together that it's hard to watch them sometimes. Like, okay, just to like explain, just to go into like the smallest amount of detail, because I could literally give you an episode about Dan to Dan and the relationship between these two characters. They have a thing where they're very specific without ever saying the words. They're very specific about the love languages between Okarun and Momo. Momo's love language is physical touch, and Okarun's is act of service. So anytime Okarun is around Momo, he's always trying to do something for her. And anytime Momo is around Okarun, she's always trying to touch him. And like, no one ever says it, but like, if you watch every episode, Momo like takes a second to like walk close enough to Okarun to bump into him, and then like just like stand really close to him where she's touching him. And like, these are two high school kids who are not actually in any type of official relationship. It's just the way they act around each other. And it's so goddamn adorable. It hurts. Dan to Dan is awesome. I'm just going to give the warning now. If you are not fully animated up and you don't have a high level of like, I'm just going to let this roll off, don't watch the first episode. Just start with the second one. Dan to Dan season 2, though, absolutely awesome. 10 out of 10. Probably one of the best seasons of anime I've ever watched. There's an episode where they fight the ghost of Beethoven and he turns into like a giant, like musical themed monster. It is amazing and ridiculous. Okay. Next, Dragon Ball Daima. I'm the hugest anime fan, Dragon Ball Z fan you're ever going to meet. Dragon Ball Daima was awesome. People came out the gate the same way they came out the gate about the Superman movie. Just absolutely like, this is going to be garbage. Why is Goku a kid? Blah, 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 blah. And guess what? Now that it's over, everyone is like, yeah, that was good. That was better than I thought it was. That was better than I thought it was going to be. That was way better than I thought it was going to be. People are now like, man, how did they write this after Dragon Ball Super? Because the energy and the love and the character and the Toriyama-ness of Dragon Ball Daima is absolutely undeniable. If you like Toriyama and you like Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball, I'm never going to tell you to not watch anything that's Dragon Ball Z related because I love it all. But like, if you're not feeling Super, watch Daima. It's more Toriyama and more Dragon Ball than Super is, in my opinion.
Yes.
It feels like Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Super has this disconnect that I can't name it specifically, but it just doesn't have the same feel as a lot of Toriyama's other stuff does, his other Dragon Ball work. But Daima absolutely does. And then it's got all the fights you want. They're animated beautifully. Everything looks great. The animation all the way through Daima, like there's not one part of Daima that I would say isn't like peak animation. Like it's all great. And it gives you a story like this. Nothing in it drags. It's like you get into it, like it's like 12 episodes. Nothing drags. It's like you get in, you watch it, it's over. So like, I think a lot of that's a lot of what Super's problem is. There's so much of it that's stretched and so many areas where they just are putting things in to fill time and so many characters who show up and just are there for a moment and leave. Like there's so much of that in Super. There's none of that in Daima. It's just like, here's the story. Here are the characters' adventure. We're getting to the final boss, the obvious final boss with no shortcuts or loops or anything. You knew this guy was going to be the end boss at the very first episode. Fight him. It ends. It's over. It's a very, for Toriyama's last work, it's a very condensed version of all of his stuff. It's like take Dragon Ball Z, put it all in one ball, squish that ball and then like get a hydraulic press and press all the extra anything out of it, and that's what Daima is.
I mean, I'll talk about it a little bit with my list too, but like Super felt like Super is fan service. You know what I mean? It's just like, hey, remember Dragon Ball? Hey, remember this? Hey, remember that? You know?
Mm.
Whereas Daima felt like a continuation, like an actual like through line from Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z to Dragon Ball GT to and you know, you say what you will about Dragon Ball GT, but to Daima, it actually felt like it belonged in the same series where Super was just like, hey, remember all this stuff? It took a long time to get to the non-fan servicey stuff.
Mhm.
And even the non-fan servicey stuff was still pretty fan servicey.
Yeah. Like I'm not gonna I have an episode planned where I'm just gonna I have like 5 episodes planned where I'm gonna rant about Dragon Ball Z stuff. I have a really long Dragon Ball Z rant about the Buu saga that is gonna catch me a lot of heat. But Dragon Ball Super feels like they were like it feels like they were searching for ideas to make another Dragon Ball Z story. So they were like, Battle of the Gods went over. Well, what if we made a universal tournament? And then like, what if we brought Future Trunks back? Everybody loves Future Trunks. Like, it just seems like they were looking for ideas when they made Dragon Ball Super. And Dragon Ball Daima feels like a single solitary thought that came out of Toriyama's brain. And then he was like, make this. It doesn't feel like he was searching for anything. He was just like, wouldn't it be cool if they went to the demon world? We talked about the demon world in the Buu saga, but we never explored it. What if we just went to the demon world? And then that's Daima.
Right.
Okay. So gotta include Solo Leveling in this list. Solo Leveling had a season 2 that came out this year, and Solo Leveling is crazy. Like, it's one of the most I think it's actually the highest rated anime on like Crunchyroll right now. I think it actually is the highest rated anime. I absolutely love Solo Leveling. I think it's like I said to Brett, I think it's a very good introduction to anime. It gives you a solid story and solid characters without a lot of super anime-y tropes, so that you have to like there's a part of those tropes that you have to be like, oh, this is a thing that they just do in Japan. Like, oh man, that guy had a nosebleed. That's just the thing they do in Japan. Like, that's just a Japanese thing. But like, there's not a lot of that, mostly because it's not a Japanese anime. It's not based off of a manga. It's based off of a manhwa, which is a Korean manga. So like, they just don't like. I think in that idea, they purposefully try not to include a lot of stereotypical Korean stuff because they know they're aiming for outside of Korea's audience. So like, there's not a lot of point in like making a manga that is super, super Korean and then trying to send it to Japan for Japanese people to read, and they'd be like, I don't get any of this, so I'm not Korean. So I think there's a purposeful lack of those type of things, which makes it a little easier to digest for everybody. But my last one is Campfire. I was sent to another world with my insane campfire cooking skill, which is an insane idea because I had an episode where I was talking about these crazy, now I'm forgetting what they're called. I'm a fake anime fan. These crazy like other world stories, because there's so many of them. I did a whole episode about it. I was like, look at all these crazy names. I think honestly, this is one of the ones I named in the listen to all of these crazy names of these stories. And then my friend Chris was like, hey, this one's actually pretty good if you want to watch it. And I picked it up. So essentially, it's a story about a guy who gets transported to another world. So many stories that are about people getting transported to another world, but he's basically transferred into like a D&D-esque adventure story. But he says, fuck all this. I don't want to do any of this. I don't want to fight monsters. And his ability is, it's called Online Grocer, where he can literally go on the internet and shop at a grocery store and have stuff delivered to him. So the entire story is just him and like his 3 familiars that he's gained along the way, who were all just became his familiars because they smelled how good the food he was making was. And were like, we want to hang out with you. So if you keep cooking for us, we'll protect you. So it's just him and his familiars hanging out, killing giant monsters and then cooking them. Like, Like apparently in their world, like dragons are like a rare delicacy, filet mignon, like wagyu steak. So like him and his familiars go kill dragons, and then they bring him the meat, and then he cooks it. It's so wholesome, and it's so like the characters are so wholesome and fun, and like it's just super joy to watch. Like it's one of those shows that like if I'm having like a rough day, I'm like I'm gonna sit down and watch some Campfire real quick, and me and Andrew will cuddle up in bed and watch some Campfire before we go to sleep to like calm down. So I love it. So for the winner of this award, and I didn't actually write this one down, but I also want to include Gachi Akuda, the one I was talking about with the character Jabber who raps over that guy's body. That's also in this list, but I haven't finished it yet, so I didn't put it on my anime of the year. So I haven't finished it. But if I had finished it, it would be on here because it's also amazing. It's a well-written story. Characters are amazing. I'm gonna add my little social commentary in there. Gachi Akuda has literally the best black representation in anime ever. Like, like absolutely not even close. There aren't animes that are even in the ballpark. The only one is like Soul Eater and maybe Fire Force, but like Gachi Akuda is better. It's like the black characters are awesome. All the black characters are voiced by black people, and all of the black characters aren't side characters. They're important characters to the story and characters who show up often. Gachi Akuda wins that without question, but I haven't finished it yet. So like my winner of anime of the year is gonna go. I wanted really bad to give this to Dragon Ball Daima because I really did love Dragon Ball Daima, but it goes to Dandadan season 2. Dandadan season 2 is so good, and the English voice actors are all amazing. And on top of the English voice actors being amazing, the level of just writing for Momo and Ken is just so perfect. It's so well done. Their relationship is so subtly awesome that I couldn't give it to anybody else. It goes to Dandadan season 2. If you haven't watched Dandadan and you're an anime fan, whoever told you to not watch it, don't listen to them. Watch Dandadan. It's so good. You get your Brettley. It will be in the mail, and it's just gonna be me with like the "aw, that's so adorable" face, and I'm just looking at Kin and Momo because they're so cute.
Congratulations, Dan.
Yes, congratulations.
I'm gonna barrel through this next one because I got a heart out at one. TV show of the year: Twisted Metal season 2, Creature Commandos, Welcome to Derry, Dragon Ball Daima, Haha You Clowns, and Lazarus. I love all these shows. Twisted Metal is it's still one of those that like it surprises me because I don't like the game Twisted Metal, but like Will Arnett's really awesome in it. And so is Samoa Joe. Anthony Mackie is great. So is Stephanie Beatrice. It's just a great show. It completely just subverts my expectations. Creature Commandos, for all the same reasons why I love Superman. Like James Gunn gets weird. James Gunn is weird, but like Creature Commandos is like where I think Peacemaker probably would have been on this list if he hadn't gone as weird as he did. Creature Commandos is just the perfect amount of weird. It's animated Suicide Squad, and each of the characters gets like their own like great episode.
Mm-hmm.
The Bride is fantastic. Weasel is awesome. Like for all the weird, Weasel is just a weird character just in general. But like turning him into a thoughtful character is not something I had on my bingo card this year. Welcome to Derry was really good. Like I loved the book. I read it multiple times as a kid. It is one of the reasons why I love horror. And to have kind of a new story in the Derry universe, I guess, like the Stephen King universe, even though I don't think he really had anything to do with it other than just the characters that it was based on. It was really good, and it definitely got there there was more Bill Skarsgård than I thought there was going to be. Like I thought maybe he was just too big for the show, but like it ended up being kind of a perfect blend, like kind of like what Jaws was, where it leads up to the creature.
Mhm.
Just great. Dragon Ball Daima for all the reasons that Aaron listed earlier. Just it was such a pleasure to watch. I did watch that one in Japanese, even though like because I think that was the only option for a while. I
That's
don't has
wild.
it.
That's wild. I watched it in
I
English.
did you?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure when I watched it, I don't know if there was a Japanese option, or maybe there was. Lazarus is on this list as well, and I actually had to go in and change my options on HBO Max. So like maybe Netflix had it, I just didn't know, but I watched the whole thing in Japanese. But it didn't take away from it for me. Like sometimes that does, like it distracts me, but I loved it. Haha, You Clowns is not something that I was expecting. It's an Adult Swim show.
I was not expecting
I
this to
watched.
be on your list either, but I totally understand where you're at.
Do you know what it is?
I absolutely do.
I watched. I mean, the episodes are like 10 to 12 minutes long, and I wish I could recreate the voices for the boys on that show, but like the Bomberman jacket episode was. I I laughed my ass off with this show. Was not expecting. I think it kind of falls off at the end of the season a little bit, but my God, like I Adult Swim humor doesn't really like I don't really get it most of the time, but God, you clowns, it just got me.
It,
And then
it
Lazarus, oh good.
sorry, it's such like you. It's hard to explain how like the idea of like, oh yeah, it subverts your expectations. It's not what you expect it to be, and like that exists, but like it's the show is always it does it every episode. That's the best way to explain it. There is not like you watch episode 1, you go, oh, this show is going to be this instead of this. It's like every single episode, it's like it starts as that one thing you think it's going to go one way, and it just doesn't every time.
Yeah. Every time their eyes turn red when they get like sad or emotional, like it gets me every time. I think if I was to watch it again, it would probably take home the Brettley on this, but I adore that show. And then Lazarus. Go ahead.
Is I when I was going through and doing my list, I was like, yeah, and I was like looking through yours to make sure I wasn't, we weren't double up anything, and then I saw You Clowns on here, and I was like, oh, Brett knows ball. Holy shit! I did not expect him to put this on the list.
Yeah, I'm trying to we all kind of fall into our creatures of habit sort of shows. And I rewatch a lot of stuff. So I rewatched Scrubs last year, right before the baby was born. And like, I had my safe stuff, but like I don't even know why I had HBO Max. It was AEW. They were doing the blood and guts match. And I wanted to watch that. And I was like, you know what? Like this is an $18 subscription. I think I should probably branch out a little bit and watch some stuff. And that's where Welcome to Derry and Creature Commandos and Haha, You Clowns and Lazarus all came from. Is just me branching out. And just Haha, You Clowns blew me away. I I had to bring Drake in a couple times. Like, dude, it's like, what, am I serious? Am I crazy? It was actually funny.
I was like, exactly. Every time, every episode, it gets me every time. I'm like,
Yeah. The
please watch it. Like,
the
it sounds ridiculous to say. Like, if you pull up a screenshot or like a trailer, you're gonna be like, what are they talking about? Please watch it. Just watch it.
the episode where Sean Astin was next door. Oh, man, I've said too much. Lazarus though, like I thought Lazarus was really good. Kind of like what Dyna was, where it's short and sweet. Lazarus kind of gets in, gets out, does its thing. I man, I love Lazarus so much. It was so good. I know a lot of people were kind of sour on it online, which I mean that's fine when you're coming down from like Cowboy Bebop and I just bought Samurai Champloo. I haven't watched it yet, but when you're coming down from all timers like those, it's kind of hard to follow that up. And I do think that Lazarus was really good, but my Brettley goes to Creature Commandos, and I would not have expected Creature Commandos to be. I wasn't excited for it. I didn't really care or anything with that, but the stuff with the Bride and Weasel, I love Dr. Phosphorus. Just and even kind of making Rick Flag interesting was not something. It's not like what's his face Rick Flag from Suicide Squad. It's Frank Grillo or whatever his name is, like Rick Flag. So kind of a jabroni, but just a really good show. And then I loved Frankenstein on the show as well. And that was David Harbour. But yeah, so mine goes to Creature Commandos.
Good job, Creature Commandos. It's one of those shows that I started and just never, not in like I didn't want to watch it. Like I just never got back to finishing it. And then I got rid of my HBO Plus subscription before I was able to watch it. So hopefully all of this, tie it with this Warner stuff happening with maybe it'll come back around. I'll get a chance to watch it. Cause like this is completely off topic, but like I noticed recently that Teen Titans Go is now on Netflix. And I was like, they moving that quickly? Because like as far as
they just like the stuff that you would think would be on HBO Max is not always on it. Like they shop that stuff around. There's a lot of DC stuff that gets moved to like different platforms.
I was like, they're moving that quickly. They're already starting to move stuff over. But your idea, your thought on it makes way more sense than that. I was like, that doesn't make sense. There's no way that they're moving that quickly.
You'd be surprised, like the amount of like even Cartoon Network stuff that's not on there.
Yeah, it was really weird. And this is another off-topic thing. On Disney, you can get Powerpuff Girls, but you can only get the 3 new seasons of Powerpuff Girls, not the original 5.
Yeah, the originals are tough to find, and those are not on HBO.
Yeah. Like I was literally sitting down because like Dom was like, I want to watch Powerpuff Girls. And I was like, okay, let me do some quick and see what services have Powerpuff Girls. And like I said, those first 5 episodes, I don't think any streaming service has them right now.
Nope. Animaniacs is the same way.
I'm like
you can get the new Animaniacs, but you can't get the old ones.
I'm like, why? Like, plus the new ones are just like, I don't want to go into a rant about Powerpuff Girls, but like the new ones are like a show about little girls who are superheroes, and the old ones are about the superheroes, the Powerpuff Girls. And it's weird. There's like a weird difference. I can't put my finger all the way on it, but it's just like, this isn't the same.
Right.
Okay. So I'm gonna do my game of the year. Now my game of the year is interesting because I started this year like I am gonna beat more games this year. That is my goal, and I did not do that. I did not beat more games. I didn't play more games. I played less games, in my opinion, but I did get a couple of victories in games. But like the victories that I got in games, like I enjoyed, but I would not rank them. Like I beat Pokemon Sword this year, and I'm like, this is not gonna even on the list of my games of the year. Like I would degrade the Brettleys if I put this on my list, so it can't go on the list.
I like those ones. Yeah, you're fine.
So I was like, okay, so what games that I played this year did I like? And I got 4. So for all the trash that Monster Hunter World got, I played on PS5. I didn't have any problems. Like I felt like people were like, man, this game is not optimized, and I'm like, I played on PS5. I didn't have any problems. Like Monster Hunter World, it's fun. I spent hours in my character creator. I made my cat familiar dude look like Kurama from Naruto, and the idea that the people put out these custom designs that you could do for your character or your familiar, and like there were tons of crazy designs that you could do, was fun. I had fun with it. I played. I killed monsters. I got all that I wanted out of that game. Like Like I said, people were saying that it wasn't optimized on PC and they were having issues with it. I played on PS5, I didn't have any problems. So I got everything I wanted out of it. I want to get back into it. I haven't beaten it yet, but I want to get back into it. But every part that I played was fun. So Monster Hunter Wilds. Marvel Rivals came out like right at the beginning of January. And this threw my entire gaming year off. Started in a really rocky spot because I was playing the crap out of Marvel Rivals. Absolutely just they got me sucked into their loop because it was like I'd start playing, I'd start to cool down, and then as soon as I started to cool down, they'd drop a new character. And then I'd be right back in again. And then I start to cool down, and I cool down, and then they drop a new character, and I was right back in. This is the strategy that every team-based shooter should use for the rest of time. Like, you can't do it forever. Nobody can. But the amount of heat and energy you could drive in like a 6-month period, dropping characters the way Marvel Rivals did, like literally allowing you just enough time to like start getting comfortable with this new character in the game, and then dropping another one, so then the game changes again, and then dropping another one, the game changes again. This is how they should do it. This is how it should be done. It's the perfect execution of this type of game. And I see Overwatch 2, and Overwatch 2 is trying to do more characters. I've seen like that they're trying to drop more characters. I absolutely have not touched Overwatch 2. I haven't even installed it. I don't fuck with it. But like they're trying to do the same thing. They see how successful Marvel Rivals is, and they're trying to copy what they're doing. And I don't know what specifically is the issue. Maybe it's a creative issue, maybe it's a technical issue, but they just can't keep up. Like Marvel Rivals, you're doing your thing. I'm probably going to jump back in because now Deadpool's in the game just to see what Deadpool's about. I think Scarlet Widow or Scarlet Widow. Widow and Scarlet Witch both need a rework. Specifically Widow. You guys, what did you do? What you got against Scarlet or Widow? What do you have against her? Your haters, like you made a sniper whose only abilities are running, jumping, and sniping, and she can't one-shot anybody. What? Work on her, please. My baby Satisfactory. I'm not going to give it the award, but I'm still going to mention it here because I've been having so much fun playing that in game, and I just can't stop. And I feel like this is my award, and I'm allowed to like shout out the game that I want. I have to show you. Chris got me a Satisfactory poster for Christmas, but it's like a metal, like, oh my god, it looks so good. Like I'm gonna take a picture of it and I'm gonna send it to you, but it's like, I was stunned. It's gorgeous. My boy knows me so well, and he was like, yeah, I know how much you love Satisfactory, so here you go. So, but the winner this year, and I'm gonna explain, and people are gonna be like, that one, and I'm gonna explain why. The winner this year is Ball X Pit. And I'm gonna explain why. Everyone's like, man, freaking, there are so many games that came out this year that are great. You're like, what about this game or that game? And I'm gonna be like,
I think it's just Ball Pit.
No, it's Ball X Pit.
Are you sure?
I
think the developers have called it just Ball Pit.
Maybe it's Ball Pit. I don't know. I'm gonna call it Ball X Pit because that's what it looks like on the page. So the reason that I'm giving it to this because like I've already discussed how hard I got sucked into Marvel Rivals, and I've been talking about for months how hard I'm into Satisfactory. I looked at how everyone has like a year in review overview thing because Spotify did it that one time, and now everyone has one. Well, I got pulled up mine for my Switch, which I play my Switch pretty often because of just the handheldness. And I looked at December when I bought Ball X Pit, and like I literally have like 105 hours in Ball X Pit that are within that 1 month. That's crazy for me. I was sick during that time. I had surgery during that time. So like I had a bunch of downtime, but like 100 hours in 1 month and anything besides Satisfactory is absolutely crazy. I gave it to it because that game made me stop playing Marvel Rivals, made me stop playing Satisfactory, and I played it 100 straight hours in December. So Ball X Pit, it's you know it's got it's Brick Breaker, it's Arkanoid with the leveling system where you can kind of, and it's also got the rogue elements. So like there's so much that like it's like the greatest phone game ever made just moved to consoles. And like it absolutely sucked me in. Like I said, 100 hours in a month. That's high for me. For one game to get 100 hours from me, the only other game that has done it recently besides Satisfactory and Marvel Rivals is Persona 5. And Persona 5 got the one last year, so Ball X Pit, you get my Brettley Game of the Year.
What a game. I love Ball Pit.
I love it.
I need to go back to it. I've got it. It's just really good. I've cleared off a lot of my backlog at this point, so like I'm kind of in time waster mode. So I've been between Sonic and then I've got Ball Pit on my cross media bar on my PlayStation, so I need to go back to it. Heck yeah, well deserving.
Hell yeah! All right,
okay.
It's time for the big one.
Oh gosh, not big one, but so I finished 37 games last year, which is a lot of them are smaller games and all that, but did pretty well for myself. My list, pretty much, I think all of them except for one of them came out in the last half of the year. Because I mean, there was that period of time where Liddy was born. I wasn't playing a whole lot of stuff. I mean, really, I look back at my game list of things that I bought, and Assassin's Creed Shadows was one of them. And honestly, that almost made the list. But my game of the year list is as follows. And I guess I'll kind of go in release order here. Doom the Dark Ages, which I finally got the platinum in that. Great game. Donkey Kong Bonanza, Shinobi Art of Vengeance, Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD Remake, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. I went out of order. Have I said all 6?
No.
Donkey Kong Bonanza, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, Dragon Quest 1 and 2. I got too cute with it. Doom the Dark Ages, Shinobi, and then Metroid Prime 4 Beyond.
There we go.
So my game of the year is Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Yeah. Like I said, Donkey Kong, man. If you put money on Donkey Kong last year, you made like a freaking bandit.
So there's one thing that the game doesn't tell you, and Nintendo has been very mum on it. Are you adverse to Donkey Kong Bonanza spoilers?
Nah, hit me.
Okay. If you look at the game chat or the Gamedads Discord chat, I want you to tell me who you see.
I would say that's definitely King K. Rool.
King K. motherfucking Rool. They did not even, they hinted at him through the game, just like little bits here and there, very, very vague. You fight the final boss in Donkey Kong Bonanza. His name is Void. He's just this little monkey. Everybody's trying to get down to the planet core to get the Bananium root, and you get to make a wish when you get to the Bananium root. So Donkey Kong and Pauline travel the whole way. They end up beating and befriending all of Void's crew, and you fight Void. And right as you beat him, he gets punched into like Oblivion. He gets like this giant like I think they're supposed to be melted bananas, but it's like lava. And he gets punched in this thing, and Donkey Kong's like, "What the heck's going on?" So as soon as the Bananium root was released, King K. Rool comes out, and like another 2 hours of the game opens up after you thought you just finished it, and you end up fighting him in these weird Dragon Ball Z battles. Like, it is nuts. Donkey Kong Bonanza has no right to be as good as it is. Actually, you know what? That's not true. It does. It's the Mario Odyssey team that did it. It took a little while for Nintendo to finally admit that they did that. So it's a 3D Donkey Kong platformer kind of / collectathon kind of with a story mode that is actually very cute. I know we kind of live in an age where like everything either the worst thing ever or possibly the best thing ever. I think Donkey Kong Bonanza is probably, and try not to speak with hyperbole here and stuff, but I think it's one of the best non-Zelda video games. It's just one of the best video games in general that Nintendo's ever put out. It's that special of a game. And for it to win in a year, for me anyways, where I was just so down on Nintendo, like, you can go back and listen to old pods. Like I was not big on the Switch 2, had little to no interest in it. Got one for Drake, and Mario Kart was whatever. And then we bought Donkey Kong Bonanza, and I loved it so much that I didn't want to take away the gift that I gave him for getting all A's last year. So I went and bought myself a Switch 2. I bought a whole console for this game, and I do not regret it.
Yeah. I haven't played yet because I don't have a Switch 2, but all I've heard nothing but glowing reviews about this game. People who normally are anti-Nintendo, people who are normally anti just kind of, games with more of like Nintendo cartoony setting. People who are anti those have been like, oh no, friggin' Donkey Kong Bonanza is absolutely goated. So
Yep.
I wasn't surprised at all when I looked at the list and I saw that you had this on there. I was like, that Donkey Kong Bonanza is going to win.
So the best thing about it is it serves a lot of things for me. It serves that 3D Mario that I like so much, especially post Odyssey, collecting moons and all that stuff. I mean, the bananas aren't as like you don't trip over them like you do with moons and Odyssey.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little more curated. Like they're still in weird spots and all that stuff, but it's a little more curated. But the thing that it does more than anything is it serves as a true sort of 3D sequel to Donkey Kong Country. And not just because of the K. Rool stuff. It brings back Cranky, it brings back Diddy, it brings back Dixie. And again, you kind of find like little hints that the Kremlings and K. Rool are in the game at some point. It doesn't ever explicitly tell you that, but like you find these weird sort of like rock monsters or whatever. When you beat them down, they turn into these like naked gold skeletons, sort of. And once you get to the end of the game's like 30 hours long. That's when you realize, like, dude, these things have been Kremlings the whole time. But it serves as a spiritual successor more to like Donkey Kong Country, not like 1-to-1, but like it's there, and like a lot of the old Donkey Kong Country music is in the game. Like it's great, and as somebody that has always kind of like, I love Mario and all that stuff, but like, when Sonic came out, I prefer Sonic to Mario. I like the Mario side stuff more than I like actual Mario in some cases. And I love like 3D Mario more than 2D Mario. I'm weird. But Donkey Kong Country, especially like those Super Nintendo games, the retro ones are really good too. I think Tropical Freeze is just one of, if not the best 2D platform of all time. But I love those Donkey Kong Country games. They're so special, especially that first one. Just so good. And for this to come out and wow me, like I'm not anti-Nintendo, been very jaded on it. Like I don't feel like they make games for me anymore. I'm also a nearly 41-year-old man. Like, Nintendo is a toy company and they make great games, but like Zelda has kind of passed me by. There hasn't been a new 3D Mario in almost 10 years. I still like, like the Kirby's and all that stuff, but like Donkey Kong has always been like my thing. I love Donkey Kong. But for them to come out with a new console and put out a game that is as good as this one, like it's going to sit on my all-time favorite game list at some point. I guarantee that. The other games on the list are really good too. I want to give a little bit of shout out to all those. I love Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. Was not expecting that game to be as good as it is. Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD remake I got that one on Switch too. I have finished the first Dragon Quest. I haven't finished the second one yet. Just fantastic little warm hug. Doom the Dark Ages. I finally got the platinum in that one. Like I said, just so much fun. Shinobi, great too. Metroid Prime 4, I've already kind of talked about on the previous podcast. I love that one, but like none of those hold a candle to Donkey Kong Bonanza. So it gets the Brettley.
All right. Get the banana shaped Brettley.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude, it's so good. I finished it last night. I was trying to knock out a whole bunch of stuff for the podcast, like especially for the Brettleys, just because I wanted to have a not like expert opinion on it, but like I feel like a fake fan if I'm giving Donkey Kong Bonanza my game of the year and not having finished it. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
It's one of those that like I do, and I don't know if I told you, I've been savoring it. So like I'll play it for a little while and I'll put it down because I just don't want to finish it.
Mm.
And I sat down yesterday to play it. Like, dude, I know I'm at the end of this game. And it's gonna make me really sad, but I got to knock this thing out for the Brettleys. And I was just like, I got to the point where I knew I was getting ready to fight K. Rool. I got to put this down back last night. And oh, dude, it's so good. So I'm gonna go back and I'm at 100% it.
All right. Well,
I can't wait to talk more about it on another podcast.
Sounds good. Okie dokie, guys. That is the last Brettley. During the awards, I sent a message out to Dickie Simpkins just to see if he had any updates, but I didn't get it. I didn't get a response, so we won't be hearing from Dickie Simpkins this year, but maybe next year.
Do you think his game of the year would be Donkey Kong?
I mean, thinking about the era that he was from, my only fear would be that Donkey Kong gives him too much like PTSD from like the time period. Maybe it just wouldn't be as favorable to like a Donkey Kong game. But like,
right,
I kind of see him more as like someone who's going to be in the Sonic Crossworlds. That's the vibe I get.
Oh yeah, they just dropped Pac-Man.
Yeah,
I'm sure that's probably favorite.
All right. Well, the Brettleys are done. Want to go ahead and do you have a positive to end this with so that we can go ahead and head on out?
Yeah, buy a good pillow for your neck.
That is a great one. Seriously.
I have so much neck pain right now. Don't sleep. Don't take care of yourself.
Okay. I have an interesting one. I'm gonna try and keep it short, but me and Andrea have been in this weird like mode, just like kids are high stress. Things are just high stress right now around the house. And we have been sitting like at the end of the night, me and Andrea come into the bedroom and we literally, both of us grab a beer. We have a little folding table that sits on the bed. And then we literally just sit and play cards and listen to music and just without like, most of the time when you're at like chilling, you're watching TV, you're not interacting with each other, you're just watching whatever's on the screen. Like I've been thoroughly enjoying just sitting and chatting and chopping it up while playing cards. And it's just like, when you got people around that are important, make sure that you're interacting with them, not interacting with something else where they are also present. Like watching TV is I'm not saying don't watch TV. Sometimes you want to just be, completely zoned out, but like also make sure you're like doing something that interacts with the people around you. It's been so refreshing. Like I have not had the like feeling of being like, I cannot wait to sit and play some cards ever in my life. And now I have that feeling. I think about it, I'm like, man, can't wait for those kids to go to bed so we can sit down and play some cards. And it's real weird, but I'm thoroughly enjoying it. So make sure you're interacting with people and not just interacting with things where people are present.
Indeed.
All right. Well, that's the Brettleys. We will catch you guys next time. Oh, Wimmity Wham Wham Wazzle.
Mecca like a high, Mecca hiney ho. Long live Zombie. Watch the Pee Wee Herman documentary.
Yeah, do that. For real, though.
Made me cry. Tell Lawrence Marston, Jeff. Bye.
Yep. Peace.